Yo, what's up, healthy people? Welcome to the I Run the City podcast, the IRTC. My name is Perio. I'm the podcast MC, Master of Ceremonies. Follow me on Instagram at perio333.com. Follow me on Instagram at perio333. And subscribe to the website. Let's link up over there at perio333.com. It's under construction right now, but it's still available to go and check it out. This is episode number 25 of the IRTC, the I Run the City podcast. Episode number 25 last week in training. So on episode number 24, I talked about the next race that I'm gonna be in. It's the Revel series that originally was planned to be in Vegas, Revel Mount Charleston, which is here in Vegas. It's every yearly event. But COVID is here, so it's canceled, of course. But we had the opportunity to do a deferment to do another race in the Revel series. So today is 60 days exactly from now to the day of the race, which is April 30th. So we got 60 days, and we're doing Revel, Wasatch out in Utah. And I'm going to be doing some sort of a countdown from here to race day. Still putting that together, but we'll be in constant contact through social media, YouTube, the website, perio333.com. So, go check that out. Go and subscribe so you get everything right away. Doing a really good job over there with the rebrand. Go check it out, perio333.com. I'm going to have updates throughout the next 60 days all over the place. So we got 60 days, and then we're back in action over at Perio333 and the Revel Series, Wasatch out in Utah. So keep your eyes open for the countdown, and 60 days out, we're going to get it done. Episode 25, last week in training. So I've been training for this marathon for quite some time now. I started December 21st. Like a 15-week training block, and we're almost there now. We got about 8 weeks, so we're just a little bit halfway through the training block. And I just want to run down how training went last week. Monday. On my training schedule, Monday is it's an easy day. And actually, it's a day where I can not run and get a day off, or I can run at an easy pace, 30, 45 minutes. That's what the schedule says. So Monday of last week, I did an easy 30 minutes. No big deal. Just to get loose, get ready, pardon me, for the following day. So I did that. Didn't take the day off. I ran, easy run, no biggie. 8 miles, actually. I ran 8 miles at an easy pace. It always feels nice to run easy because three days a week it's a difficult run, which leads me into Tuesday. Now on Tuesdays generally it's some sort of speed workout, and on this particular day it was a surging workout. So the workout on the schedule is intended to be at least 75 minutes, which is an hour and 15 minutes. You do 2-minute surges, which means, okay, so in the beginning, the first 10, 15 minutes of the run, You're taking it easy. It's like a warm up. You're getting loose. You're getting your body is kind of heating up and warming up. It's exactly what it says. You're warming up. So for the first 10 or 15 minutes, you're warming up. After the warm up, you start picking up the pace. And what happens is you go 2 minutes hard. You go 2 minutes hard. And then 5 minutes, you're back at a smooth recovery jog. Let's call it a recovery jog. So you're surging, okay? You're surging every 5 minutes, 2 minutes at a time. You're surging every 5 minutes, 2 minutes at a time. So you go 10, 15 minutes warm up, which turns out to be maybe a mile and a half. And then after you hit that mark, whether you want to go 10 or 15 minutes, you'll pick up some speed and you'll go hard. You'll go hard for 2 minutes. And then 2 minutes is up. You use your watch to, of course, or some sort of way to keep time. And when you've gone 2 minutes, you'll slow down again and you go to that recovery job. Okay? Now, the key to this type of workout is the type of course that you're running on. And I've said a lot of times that I run mostly in the city. And it's true, I run mostly in the city. But like I said in episode 24, I changed up the running conditions, the terrain. I'm getting more out. I'm going more and more. I'm out on the trails, and this is one reason why this is such a key. It's such a big deal. It's to get out there, because in the city, and I'm in Vegas, it's relatively flat. Now it's like a bowl. So there are some hills, some incline, but it's not really hilly, to be quite honest. It's not really hilly in that in what you think about when you think about hills. It's just not. But when you're on the trails, it's the perfect terrain. This is why me training out there is the best thing that could have happened, right? It's the best. It was the answer for better training. It was the answer for better training, because on these trails, you get rolling hills, you get inclines, you get declines, you get a flat surface, you get everything that's necessary to execute the type of runs that are required. And there's always a different type of run. So you have the easy run, so you have the easy days. You have the days like the Tuesday of last week, what I'm talking about right now, which is a surging workout. And again, which means you go for 5 minutes at a smooth pace, recovery pace, and then you pick up the speed aggressively for 2 minutes at a time. And here's the thing: when you're out on the trails, when it's time to pick up speed, you could be on a massive incline. So for example, on this one trail that I run, in particular, mile 7. Mile 7 feels like to me when I'm running it that it's all incline. And when it's over, when I get to mile 8, I feel like it straightens out again. So if I come to mile 7 when it's time to surge, that's a tough 2 minutes. Very difficult 2 minutes, because even if you're not on a surge, even if you're walking mile 7 on this one particular trail, it's difficult. It's hard. It's not easy by any means at all. It's a difficult. So you get that out on the trails, and then sometimes on mile 4 through 6, it's not smooth per se, but it's not mile 7. You get some incline, but not as difficult as mile 7. So the course plays a huge part in how effective the training will be, which is why uh, going out on the trails is a really good idea on those tough days, because it's going to be tough. It's going to be difficult, and you need that. Of course, you need that, right? In talking with my coach, uh, he'll say to me, the speed workouts get easier because you have to kind of break a certain threshold. You have to break a certain threshold of pain, basically. And once you do that, then it gets easier, right? You break that threshold, and then you don't have to do it again. You've already done it. So these trails allow you to do that, because if you're pushing it, and I push it, if you're pushing it, you're gonna feel the pain. You're gonna feel the burn. A good example, week before last on Saturday, my coach and I, we ran together in a short run, but a fast run, and we were on the trails. It was a 6 mile run, a 10K, basically. We were on the trails, and it was incredibly, incredibly difficult, because these same hills that we're running, I had to dominate the hills. That's what we call it, dominating the hills, which means you got to go all out going up the hills. Open your hips going down the hills, and dominate the hills going up. And it was a trail that I never ran. It was a trail that I never ran, 6 mile trail. It was good increase. The terrain was insane, and we were going for a 9 to 10 minute per mile pace on those trails, and that pace, I don't know what it translates to as it pertains to the streets, but at that pace out on the trails, it's hardcore. And we did it. I mean, we did it. I actually PR'd at that distance on the trails that day. And that is a reflection of me changing where I am training at. That's a reflection of me going up on the trails and training on them trails. Now, another thing about the trails that I'm having to get used to is the rocky terrain, right? Now, and I have trail running shoes, but the bottom of my feet are super sensitive as a result of going up this, with plantar and all that. Uh, it's a thing. It's a thing. So that is something for me, that I have to be aware of as well. But overall, I've uh, I've I've been able to see results in my performance, because of switching up the course. So Tuesday, surging workout, go 2 minutes hard. Go 2 minutes pushing it, and 5 minutes recovery. You want to do that 6 to 8 times. This is and also this is some of the things that I was not doing prior to bringing in a coach. Prior to bringing in a coach, I've talked about that before, so I won't beat a dead horse. But this is some of the things that I was not doing prior to bringing in a coach. And this is a part of marathon training. This is a part of training as a runner at the marathon distance. This is a part of getting to a point where you can continue to do this type of, or you could perform in this way over the course of 26.2 miles. This is getting to where you could do this type of, where you could perform this type of action, I'll call it, over the course of 26.2 miles. Wednesday on my schedule last week was an easy day. So based on my schedule, based on the schedule that has been designed for me, I spend a few days a week just with easy runs, right? Just with easy runs. So Monday, you can opt off, or you can do an easy 30, 45-minute run. I opted to do an easy run. Tuesday, you go hard. You go hard with a surging training session, 2 and 5, 6 to 8 times. Now, let me add this for Tuesday. I did a 2-hour workout on Tuesday. I did a 2-hour workout. So if you complete that loop on that trail, it's well over 75 minutes. So I did a 2-hour workout, and 2-hour workouts are very, very good in training for the marathon distance. It just gets you in the mode or used to being on your feet and being out there running and picking up the speed and recovering and picking up the speed and recovering over and over again. Because essentially that's what needs to happen during the race. That's what needs to happen during the race. So I went well over 75 minutes on my Tuesday surgeon workout. On Wednesday, 45 to 55 minutes, easy day. 45 to 55 minutes. It was an easy day. And again, after running the surge training, after doing the surge training, the surgeon workout, that Wednesday is kind of like a recovery run. It's a recovery run. 45, 55 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour. Just take your time. Just get the run in and get ready for Thursday, because Thursday again, you're gonna have to push a little bit. So, you start the week Monday, you don't run, or you do an easy run. Tuesday, you're gonna have to push a little or a lot. Wednesday, you recover by just stretching out, running, not stiffening up, getting your body ready to move again pretty aggressively on Thursday. And then Thursday comes and it's time for a Fartlek workout. Now, this is kind of like surging. I mean, they're almost the same thing. They're almost the same thing. Think about, and I did this run alone. This is Thursday. I did this run alone. But think about if you have, let's say, 5 people on a track, right? You have 5 people on a track and they're doing fartleks. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a line, and the person up front is running very fast. for 2 minutes. Person up front is running very fast for 2 minutes. And once that person finishes that 2 minutes, the person number 5 runs up. He gets in the front. And then he runs very fast for 2 minutes. Now, and then you keep doing that, you keep doing that, you keep doing that. And that's a group fartlek run. That's what a fartlek run is. Almost like a surgeon. It's almost like surgeon. Same thing. If you think about it, it's the same type workout. It all works on speed. It all works on pushing yourself in that threshold. What I'm talking about, trying to maintain pretty aggressive speeds over time, and recovering and doing it again. So you get short bursts, and then you recover and you do it again. Now, what I did was, because I was by myself, what I did was started out at that easy 10 to 15 minutes in the beginning. Started out with that, and went from there to running half marathon pace for about 20 to 30 minutes. For about 20 to 30 minutes. So I freaked it a little bit, in that, because I was alone and I did the surgeon workout on Tuesday, I decided to push for 20, maybe even 30 minutes. I went pretty hard for those 30 minutes. Now, on this workout last week, I ran this workout in the city. I ran this workout in the city on the streets. It was a time thing. I just couldn't get all the way over to the trails, because I have to go outside the city. It was a time thing, and I had to hurry up and do it. That's what I did, and which is why I kind of switched it up. Because it's much more interference in the city than it is on the trails. And the trails, you don't have to stop. There's no reason to stop. In the city, I might get caught up by a light or anything. So this is why I did it that way. Now, it's the same idea, because you start out with the warm-up, right? You start out with the warm-up, and then you push. You start out with the warm-up, and then you push. I push for 20, even 30 minutes. Okay? Then cool down with another 15-minute run, another 15-minute cool down. Pushed again for another 10 minutes on the way in, and ended up running about an hour and 15, maybe 20, 25 minutes. Ended up getting 8-9 miles in on Thursday. And that's how Monday through Thursday go on this particular program that I'm doing right now. Again, a program that's designed specifically for me. That is how it goes. Now, Monday through Thursday, Monday off, easy run. Tuesday, surge. Wednesday, easy day. There's not an option though. You run the easy run. Thursday, the fartlek. High pace, push, push, push. And Friday is another off day. Friday is, again, you can decide to run or not to run. I opted to run, right? I opted to run. Nothing difficult. Only 5.5, maybe 6 miles. Super easy. Took my time. and was glad that I even was able to get that run in. So at this point in the week, I'm 5 days. I'm all in. This is a good week of training up to this point. Saturday, wow. Saturday is the long run. That's the long run day. This is the day where I'm going 15 miles. This is my long run day. I gotta get 15 miles in, and I'm gonna take it back up to the trails for this one. I'm gonna take it back up to the trails for this one. And I have been looking forward to this run. I've been looking forward to this run. Now, on Saturday, I get to the destination, stretch out, and I take off. It was a real shit show. It was not a good run. It was not a good performance at all. I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like it that day. And I got the run in anyway. But from the beginning, I just was not feeling it. I was not feeling it. I don't feel like throughout the week, I think what the problem was, because I had to, you got to figure this stuff out. I think what the problem was, I didn't get enough sleep overall. Overall, I didn't get enough sleep, and it cost me. It cost me. I was tired. I was tired. Saturday may have been the worst run of this training block so far. I think it was. I think it was. I was not into it. It was no intensity. I mean, I literally had to drag myself, and it was, and a matter of fact, I didn't run 15 miles. I ended up running 11. I just had to take it in. I literally had to take it in, like not run the 15 miles, and I don't really ever do that. I don't know when the last time I did that. But I just wasn't feeling it, and it's better, especially when you're out there. It's better to call it a day. I mean, because you can't call an Uber when you're out in the middle of the Morning Copy Trail out at the Red Rock Canyons. You can't. You're alone. I've said that in the beginning of the podcast. You're by yourself. I was by myself. I wasn't with anyone, and I decided just to take it on in because I was not feeling that run whatsoever. I wasn't feeling it whatsoever. So I ended up taking that one in. And this is why getting a bunch of sleep, getting rest, getting not a bunch of sleep, but getting a proper rest. Getting a proper rest. And I'm someone who pushed the limits on that too, but I also know and believe and do. I get the proper rest 99.9% of the time. Last week was sort of just one of those things, man. I didn't get the proper rest. It was not something that I done purposely. It absolutely was not something that I done purposely. Excuse me. Um, I have a lot going on right now. I talked about it in episode number 25. I got the media, the company that I'm starting right now. So I have a lot to do with that. I have a job, and the hours of my job are ridiculous. I don't even want to get into that. They're ridiculous. But what are you gonna do? So I got that going on. I got the race coming up. So I got training, and training for a marathon is not an easy task. It's like a job, basically. It's like having another job. It takes a lot of time, you know. Even driving out there and running for the 2 hours plus and driving back. I mean, that takes a long time throughout the day. I mean, so it's a lot to do, and cramming everything in, and then still getting a proper rest. I guess last week I just didn't. I didn't get the proper rest at the end of the day. So Saturday, it showed. Saturday, it showed. It showed that I didn't get the proper rest. Um, and I guess that's that. I guess that's that. But it was not my greatest run on Saturday. Up until Saturday, I feel like it was a good week. But I will say Tuesday, I was kind of slow coming out the blocks. It took me a little while to get into it. Maybe a couple of miles as opposed to like the 1 or the 1.5. It took me a little longer to get into it than it normally does, even on Tuesday. So, but I did get into it. I did finish it off. I did finish strong. But by the time Saturday came around, I was just beat. I was just out of gas. I was just out of gas. I'm gonna gauge that this week. Monday of this week, I got plenty of rest. I got plenty of rest. I'm gonna go and do my surgeon workout. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday is again day 60 days out from race day. Starts today, Tuesday, March 2nd. 60 now. I'm 60 days out. So I'm gonna keep up with all this stuff moving forward because it's very, very important that I execute each training day moving forward. I mean, I'm really getting into the thick of my training, and for the next 6 weeks, I think it's 8 weeks left. For the next 6 weeks, or if it's 7 weeks left, the next 5 weeks, the training gets more difficult. It doesn't get easier. It doesn't get easier. It gets more difficult. The runs get longer. The miles get higher as it pertains to like the weekly total, and the speed workouts get tougher. You have to push harder. It doesn't get easier at this point. So right in the thick of my training, I have this horrible, horrible day this past Saturday. It was a horrible day. It kind of shook me in that it's a bad time to have that type of day. So I got to bounce back from that. And again, I boil it down to not getting enough rest. So we're gonna make sure moving forward that we're getting the proper rest. That's a part of my recipe for living a healthy lifestyle. You have to get proper rest. That's something that I know I have to do, and I'm working on it. Again, a lot of things are going on right now. I'm doing a lot, and some things are going to have to be kind of put on, not on the back burner, but if I have to get to something the next day, then that's what I'm going to have to do, because I have to make sure that I'm getting the proper rest and that I'm doing, completing like my daily routines and stuff like that. Like that stuff is important to me, and it helps me gauge my daily performance. If something is off, then I don't really like it, so I have to do certain things every day, and I'll get those things done, and then everything extra, I'll get to it, or if it's necessary, I'll get to it the next day or at some point. But I've got to make sure that things like getting the proper rest and eating properly, the proper fuel, hydrating properly. I'm big on drinking water, and water being a part of, again, living a healthy lifestyle. You have to consume. Your body's made up 75% of water, so it stands to reason that you have to consume lots of water every single day, especially when you're a runner at the marathon distance and you're training for a marathon. Hydration is huge. So stuff like that is things that I have to get done every single day, and everything else will kind of take a back seat, and then we'll get to it and just kind of get into this new way of transitioning into the new business and the racing and the work and everything that comes with it. But Saturday really put me in the mindset of doing all those things. So last week in training overall, to sum it up, was, if I had to put it on a scale of like a school grading scale, where 70 and below is a D, 70 is a D, 70 to 80. No, I don't remember exactly how it goes. So 60. I don't know. If I had to put it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it was a 6, and that's not great. That's not great. That's probably overall that may be the worst week in my training ever. And I say that because Saturday was the shit show. Saturday was the day that brought the average down. And we're going to try to prevent that from happening, because Saturday is a big, big day in training, because Saturday is the long run day. It's a big, big day in training because Saturday is a long run day. And you have to get those long runs in. Now, I've been getting the 2-hour sessions in a lot. And they help. But Saturday was going to really usher me into more of that time frame where I'll need to be ready to go on race day. I'm beginning to get there, so it'll be 2 hours, 3 hours even. These runs as we go on, there'll be 3-4 hour runs until we get to it's time to taper. So for the next 5 to 6 weeks, my long runs will be 3-4 hours. So to start that first day where it's time to upgrade and go to from 10 to 15, up to Saturday, I ran 10 miles was my long run. Saturday was my first 15-mile long run, which would have taken up around 3 hours. You want to execute that day and transition to that higher mileage. And I was unable to do that. So it's important to figure out what caused me not to be able to do that, and then fix it so that this week I can make that happen and go into the next 5 to 6 weeks, knowing that I'm gonna have to be on my feet 3 to 4 hours. I mean, this sets me up to execute that and to hit the goal of what I'm trying to do. Because at the end of the day, we're chasing the unicorn here. We'll talk about that more next week. Chasing the unicorn. And what that means is the Boston Marathon, the emblem is a unicorn. Like the Dallas Cowboys, the emblem is a star. Well, the Boston Marathon, the emblem is a unicorn. And it's often said you're chasing the unicorn when you're trying to qualify for Boston. I'm trying to qualify for Boston. And once I do that, it opens the floodgates to a lot of different opportunities that I'll be able to take advantage of. So we'll talk more about that next week, chasing the unicorn, but that's what I'm doing. And in order to do that, I've got to get these long runs right. So we're chasing the unicorn. Long runs right. We got to keep getting these speeds workout, executing them, so that we can have mad opportunities in the future, which is what we're trying to do. Thank you for tuning in, checking me out, the iRun the City podcast. Again, my name is Pareo, Pareo. Follow me on Instagram at Pareo333. Follow me on Instagram at Pareo333. All my social media is Pareo333. Twitter, Pareo_333. And again, the website is Pareo333.com. It's under construction right now. It's looking really, really nice. We redid it. We're rebranding. And we want to connect over on the website. We want to get a lot more active over there. We got a store we're about to open up over there. You'll be able to get some things. But again, as time goes, we'll talk about it and do more over there. Remember, eat plants, keep running, and be still.